Hey guys, I'm back with part 4 for this tutorial on how to build this mansion. Here in this one, we're going to be doing all of the landscaping for the front and backyard. I gathered up all the main blocks we're going to be using for the front yard, so be sure to grab the lime and green terracotta, some jungle leaves, the stone bricks, diorite and andesite, some coarse dirt, podzol, spruce trapdoors, smooth quartz slabs, smooth quartz stairs, smooth quartz blocks, prismarine, dark prismarine, and a bucket of water. So the first thing I'm going to do is delete the first layer of the blocks for all of this space here at the front side of the house. So I'll head on over to the right side. So you just want to make sure you're lined up here. And what I'm going to do, since I did the plot size, is just dig out a strip all the way to the blue concrete here at the very edge. But if you didn't mark out the plot size, you could just count it. So starting right here, work your way up towards the front and just dig out a strip of 30. But since I marked out the plot size, I'm just gonna bring it all the way up till right here. And now I'm gonna work my way all the way over to the other side. And you just want to line up with the edge of the house over here. So then you could just bring this in. And just to double check, you should now have a strip of 9 spaces right here. And then at that side, once again, is a strip of 30. Now, I'm going to go throughout and delete all of the other blocks within that shape. So all of the space, pretty much all of the other grass that you still see throughout here. So I'm just going to do that. It's going to take a second. So I'll see you guys once I have it all cut out. Alright, so I went through and deleted all of the grass here at the front side of the house, so this is what it's looking like. And real quick, also be sure to get the extra 2 spaces here underneath the doorway that leads into the garage. So now let's start marking out where everything is going to be. I'm going to start by shaping out where the driveway is going to be first. And you can see I went ahead and made sure to grab some regular grass blocks. I'm going to be placing these just to kind of shape out where the driveway is going to be. And then on top of them, we'll be sure to place some of the jungle leaves. So I'll head on here towards the left. We're going to be right next to this garage door here at the corner of the house. And I'm going to bring out a strip of 5. And now I'm going to go out from the corner of that. So you can see we're kind of going towards the right side. So we're going to go from the corner of that, work our way over by another 4. And now go out and place 3. And then we have 2 and 1. And now we're going to kind of curve towards the front side. So we have another 2 here, and we're going to leave off with 3. So on top of these grass blocks, we'll then place the jungle leaves. So this is the first curve for the start of the driveway. So I'll actually go up above so you can see exactly what it's looking like. Now I'm going to head on over here more towards the right side of the house, lined up where this pillar is, here in the middle of this wall. And I'm going to start shaping out the other shape. So I'm going to start here with the grass blocks. I'm going to bring this out by 2. Then another 2 from the corner of that. And then 1. And then 2 kind of towards the right. 1. And then another 2 pretty much towards the front side again. And then we have 3 in that same direction. And then 5. So this is the start of this other shape. Looking like this, a little zigzag. Now we'll go back in from the corner of this strip of 5. We'll have another strip of 3. And then 2. 1. And now we're going to kind of curve a little bit towards the left. So we have 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to go back to 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to start curving back in that direction to pretty much mark out where the opening to the actual driveway will be. So we're going to have another 2, and then 3, and then we should leave off with 5. So I'm now going to place all the jungle leaves on top of these grass blocks, and then I'll go up above and you can see what the shape should be looking like. So I'll go up above and you can see the entire shape. And I do also want to mention how many spaces we actually left off with. So we just have a space of 7 right here in between the jungle leaves. Now I'm going to use these stone bricks, the diorite, and the andesite to now fill in all of that space within those jungle leaves for the driveway. So I'll just start out with maybe the andesite, completely fill all of this in, and then I'll go back and cut out a bunch of random holes and fill it in with some diorite, and then maybe go back again and fill it in with some stone bricks. So it's going to be similar to how we did the roof. So I'm just going to go through with maybe the andesite first, completely fill all of this in. So just real quick, this is what it should be looking like so far, just completely filled in with the andesite. So now I'm just going to go through, like I mentioned, and cut out a bunch of random holes. I'll actually fill it in with these stone bricks first, and then we'll go back for just the final touch and fill in a few spots just here and there with the diorite. I don't really want to overdo it with the diorite. I'll see you guys once I have it all done, and I'll show you kind of what it should be looking like. Alright, so I went through and added all the extra texture, so this gives you a little idea of what it should be looking like. Now I'm going to start marking out where the garden spaces are going to be. So we have a small one over there in front of that wall, and we have a decent sized one over here in front of this part of the house. So I'm going to head on over here first. I just have the regular grass blocks again, and I'm going to line up here at the corner of the house where this pillar is. And I'm going to place just one right here, and then I'm going to go out from the corner of that, place 2, and then we'll have a strip of 3, another strip of 3, and then 4, and another set of 3, so a little something like this to start off the shape. Now we're going to continue on, we're going to add the curve right here, wrap it back around towards that side of the house. So we'll place another 2 right here, and then 1, 2, and then 6, and now go back in, have another 2, 1, another set of 2, and then 3, and you should then leave off with 4. So this is what the shape is looking like. I'm now going to grab these spruce trapdoors, and I'm going to place these on top of those grass blocks. So this is now the shape here for this garden space. I'll head on over here to this side and I'll do this small one. You can switch back to the grass blocks. And we'll head on over here towards the left, lined up at the corner of the house. And we'll bring out a strip of 2. And then go over towards the corner of that, just have 1. Another set of 2. And then we'll have a strip of 5. And then you can work your way back in towards the corner on that side. So another 2, 1, and 2. So just a small round shape like that. You can switch back to the spruce trapdoors. We'll cover all of that up. And now we'll use the podzol and the coarse dirt for the actual blocks for the garden. So within this shape and that shape. So I'll start over here, and I'm just going to mix it up between the two, adds a bit of extra texture. So I'll maybe place the podzol like this. This is a small area, so we're not going to completely fill it in and cut out any holes. We could just go ahead and do it right off the bat. So a little something like that, just mixed up between the two. We'll head on over here, and I'm probably just going to completely fill it in with podzol since this area is a little bit bigger, and then I'll go back through, cut out random holes, and fill the rest of it in with the coarse dirt. So this is what it's looking like on this side. I think that should be good enough. And now let's fill in all the rest of the space where all of this is. And over on that side, we're going to be using some lime and green terracotta. And we're just going to be adding these strips so it looks like mowed grass. So I'll just start with the green terracotta. I'll head on all the way over here at this right side. You know what? I'll do this section over here. So I'll do all of this and then it'll be the same thing over here. So I'll start all the way at the left side. And I just like to add 2 strips of each block. So we have the 2 strips of the green terracotta. We'll switch, add 2 strips of the lime, go back to the green, and then back to the lime. So that's all there really is to it. So I have this side all filled in, so we just left off the single strip here. So just like that. I'll head on over here to this side and I'll do the same thing for all of this space. And you also want to make sure to work your way through here, up towards the house. And there we go, I went through this entire side as well, looking like that. You can see how I just continue the strip straight through, especially right here. You can almost make it seem as if the strip is still going straight through the driveway here, so it just flows nicely all together. Now we just have to do the fountain right down the middle of the driveway, add all the flowers and bushes for the garden spaces, and then the entire front yard will be done. That's about really all I did here. So I'm actually just going to clear all of these blocks. And I guess I'll continue with the grass blocks so we can then place the blocks for the fountain on top of it. But anyway, these are all the other blocks we're just going to continue using. So let's go ahead and do the fountain next. So I just realized, I don't know why I thought I still needed the grass blocks. We could place the fountain just right on top of the blocks for the driveway itself. So you could go ahead and get rid of that. And I'm going to start out with the smooth quartz block. I'll head on over here towards this right side, just right down the middle of this section of 5. So I'm going to start right here on the blocks for the actual driveway. I'm going to work my way towards the left, towards the middle. And I just want to make sure I'm lined up with the 25th block. So we're going to start right here, so include this one, work your way towards the left until you're on the 25th space. So I'm right here on the 25th space. I'm going to place a block of the smooth quartz. So starting right here, all the way back to where we started is a strip of 24 that you should still be able to see. And then the 25th space is right here. Now, I'm going to just kind of mark out the border of the actual fountain and then we'll make the adjustments later. So I want to make sure I'm just 3 spaces away from each side of this middle block. So we're going to be lined up with this 4th block. And we'll place 3 like that, so just 3 spaces away from it. We'll do the same on this side, so just a section of 3. Same over here. And over here. So they are all just 3 spaces away, and we added a strip of 3. And now, to connect it all together, you should be able to just add 2 diagonal blocks like this. So this is the shape for the fountain. Now we just have to start adding all the extra features. So up against each strip of 3, we're going to have a smooth quartz stair in the middle with a smooth quartz slab on each side. And now we have all this space right here in the corners. So we're going to pretty much just wrap around that with these slabs. So we're going to just have 2, 1, another one here, and 1. So I'll do it again. So just like a little zigzag, like that, so it all just connects together. Where we see the strip of 3 where the full blocks are, we're actually going to replace that with smooth quartz stairs, and they're all going to be curving together. So I'll delete these 3 blocks, and I'm just going to have a stair like that. curve one into it, and also curve the final one into it. So just a little strip like that. We'll do that for the other 3 spaces. So this is now the outer border for the fountain. Now you can switch back to the smooth quartz block. Right on top of this one, you could just add an additional 5 layers, so we're gonna have a pillar of 6. And now, you can make sure you're lined up here on this 3rd space, so we're leaving 2 spaces at the top. And I'm just going to add an upside down smooth quartz stair. And then, I'm just going to also add a smooth quartz slab in each corner. You can switch to the... oh wait, before we fill it in with the bucket of water, let's replace all of the driveway blocks. So I'm just gonna carve all of this out. And now I'm gonna be using the dark prismarine for the outer border, but you could switch it up and have the regular prismarine instead, and then have the dark prismarine in the middle. And I'm just going to follow right along with the outer border of the fountain where the quartz blocks are. So it's like this. And now all the other space in the middle, I'm just gonna fill in with the prismarine blocks. And now you can switch to the bucket of water, and we're gonna place this at the top of the pillar. And now, I'm actually going to delete the smooth quartz slab in each corner. I just wanted the waterfall to kind of flow out like that, so it has a separate stream. I thought it looked pretty cool. It was a little bit different. And now I'm going to even out the water here at the bottom. And now let's fill in these little spaces here where the stairs are. So that is the fountain. So now we could just clear all these blocks. And the final thing we're going to do here for the front yard are the garden spaces. So I gathered up all the blocks we're using to decorate the garden areas. So be sure to grab the jungle leaves, some melons, and then I just have a bunch of different flowers. So I always like to grab these big ones, and then I grab a few small ones, and then I also have some ferns. So I have the jungle leaves, and we're going to shape out a bush right here. So you could just place these randomly until it kind of shapes out so it looks kind of natural, just looks good. And this isn't too big of an area, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to have a melon, maybe just right there should be good. And then we'll add a few flowers. And then I also have some ferns. And that is about all I'm going to do here for this little garden space. We'll head on over to this side. And I'm just going to add a couple bushes over here. So maybe right here on this front wall. We'll make this a little bit bigger. I think that looks good. And then we'll have another one over here in this corner. Okay, I think that'll be good. Maybe make it a little bit taller. Okay, I think that'll be fine. Now, I'm gonna add a few more melons for this space since it is a little bit bigger. That'll be good. And now I'm just going to go through with all of the flowers and fill the rest of the space in. So I went through and added all the extra flowers, and I think that should be good. I'm not really going to overdo it. I'm just going to clear that. And we now have the front yard all done. I'm going to leave it just like this. Now we'll head on to the backyard. We have quite a lot to do back here. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. So now I gathered up all the blocks we're using here for the backyard. So be sure to grab the diorite, the stone bricks, the andesite, some white concrete, light gray concrete, blue concrete, and green concrete. Then some prismarine, dark prismarine, spruce trapdoor, some cobwebs, dark oak fences, chiseled quartz blocks, smooth quartz stairs, smooth quartz slabs, diorite wall, hopper, black stained glass pane, some podzol, coarse dirt, and then I have the regular grass blocks again, and a bucket of water. So the first thing I'm going to do is pretty much what we did at the start for the front yard, which is just digging out all of the space back here for the first layer. And you also want to make sure to get the little bit of grass that's kind of underneath the porch area here where these stairs are. So make sure not to forget about that. So I'm going to head on over towards the left side, just lined up here at the corner of the house. You could just delete this all the way up till that blue concrete. If you didn't mark out the plot size, you just want to start here and dig out a strip of 43. So it'll just be all throughout here. And I'm then going to bring this all the way over to the other side. Until you're lined up with the pillar over here. So, oh, I think I went too far. So it should be lined up with that pillar. So we'll go ahead and bring it in right here. Okay, so this is now also another strip of 43, just like that side. And then right here, we'll eventually patch that back up. But now you can see all of the space within that shape. We're going to go ahead and delete. So I'll see you guys once I have all of that done. So I went through and deleted that first layer of all the blocks here at the back side of the house. And now I'm going to mark out where the garden spaces are going to be first. And then we'll mark out where the basketball court, the tennis court, and the pool is. And then all around that is when we're going to start placing the diorite, the stone bricks, and the andesite. That'll be the best way to do it, the quickest way. I'll head on over here towards the left. And I'll mark out where this garden space is going to be first. So I'm just going to grab the grass blocks again. And the spruce trapdoors. Oh, hold up. There we go. And then I'll actually also move these out of the way, and we'll grab the coarse dirt and the podzol, so after we mark it out, we'll fill it in right away. I'll head on here towards the left side first, where this pillar is. We'll place a strip of 3 going out, and then from the corner of that, we'll have 2, 1, and now kind of start working our way in that direction. We have 2, 3, and then we have 6. Now go back in, we'll have another 3, 2, and 2. And it should meet up here, right at the side of the house. So on top of that, I'll place the spruce trapdoors. And instead I'll go up above, and you'll be able to see the shape that we have here. So this is what it's looking like. I'm going to head on over to the other side and mark this one out next. So we're going to have a very similar shape over here. It's just 2 blocks shorter than the other side. So we'll switch back to the grass block, head on over here lined up where this pillar is, and we'll bring this out by 3, and then 2, 1, 2, and then 3 again. We'll have a strip of 6 again. And then work your way back in, another 3 right here, and then 2. So the other side had an additional 2 further, but this one just stops right here. And now we'll cover these up with the spruce trapdoors. This is what it's looking like. And now, we'll go through with the podzol and the coarse dirt. We'll fill all of this in. We'll do the same on the other side. We have both of those garden spaces marked out like that. So now, let's mark out where the basketball court and the tennis court are going to be. So we'll start over here at the left. This is where the basketball court will be. So you can start out with the white concrete, and we'll look here at this back left-hand corner, and we're going to go in a diagonal direction until we are on the 4th block. So this one right here in the corner will be 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this will be 4. So you can place a block of white concrete there. So you should still be able to see 3 spaces here and 3 spaces here. And now you can just work your way over towards the left. So just go right next to that block, and we're going to add an additional 14. So including this one, it'll be 15 in total. So we have a total of 15 right here. And now you can work your way in towards the house. We're going to start here, and you can add an additional strip of 24. So including this one here, it'll be 25 in total. And now one thing you can look at, you can see how this final white concrete block is lined up here where this anvil is. So that's where it should be. And now we'll bring this over until it's lined up with that side. And then we will connect this all together. So this is the outer border for the basketball court. Now we'll head on over towards the right side, and this is where the tennis court's gonna be. We will go from the corner here again. So if you remember, we still have to, I guess I'll fill this in real quick right now, so it's not confusing. Okay, so there we go. We're gonna be right here at this corner, and we're gonna go diagonal by 4 spaces again. So this will be 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to fill this in with a block of white concrete. And now you can work your way over towards the left. We're going to place an additional 12, so including this one, it'll be 13 in total. And now you can work your way towards the house, so we're going to start right here. And just like the other side, we're going to place an additional 24, so including this one, it'll be 25 in total. And now you could just bring this over until it's lined up with that other side, connect it all together. So now we have both the tennis court and the basketball court marked out. Now let's start filling it all in. I'll start over here where the tennis court is, and we're going to continue with the white concrete. We're just going to skip over 1 space and add a strip right here, going all the way from one side to the other. We'll do that on this side as well. So this is the out of bounds line for the sides. We're going to skip over 5 spaces from each end. So this is the back side. We'll skip over 5 spaces going in. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to be on the 6th block. We're going to add a strip of white concrete right here. We'll do the same on this side. So we'll work our way in by 5. So you should now be on the 6th block here. We'll add another strip of white concrete. And now we'll go in between these right down the middle. Add a strip going straight across. And then we're going to have the center line right here down the middle. So we'll place it in between the outer bounds line. Work your way through here into the other side. So this is all of the white concrete for the tennis court, so we have it all marked out as it should be. We'll now fill all of the other space in with green concrete. So there we go, this is the tennis court. There is one final thing, and that's going to be the net, so we might as well do that now, and then the tennis court will be completely done. So you can grab the dark oak fences and the cobwebs. We'll have a dark oak fence all the way on each end here in the middle, and then the cobwebs to connect it all together. So this is the tennis court. That's all we're going to do for that. We'll head on over here back to the basketball court, and we'll do all of this next. So for the basketball court, we're going to continue with the white concrete. But also over here, we're going to have the light gray concrete and the blue concrete. And then for the basketball hoop itself, I have the diorite wall, a hopper, and some black stained glass panes. And we'll also be using a block of blue concrete again. But let's start out with the white concrete, and we'll mark out the 3-point line. So I'll start over here on this end. And we're going to be skipping over these 2 spaces. And we're going to be right up against the edge here. We'll bring out a strip of 4. And then you could go from the corner of that, have 2. And then we'll have 1. And then we have 3 here at the top of the 3-point line. And then work your way back in. We have 1, 2, and 4 again. And then going down the middle right around here, we'll have another set of white concrete for the free throw line. And now all of the space throughout here will fill in with blue concrete. And there we go. We'll head on over here to this side and we'll do the same thing. So switch back to the white concrete. We'll have a strip of 4 going out right here. We'll do it on this side as well. And then we'll have a strip of 2. And then 1. And finish it off with 3. And then we'll have the free throw line again. And the blue concrete. And now let's mark out where the half court line is going to be. So you can switch back to the white concrete. Just want to make sure you're right down the middle here. We'll fill this in. And you should still be able to see 3 spaces in between the top of the 3-point line and the half court line. Same for this side. And now all of the other space you can fill in with light gray concrete. So this is the basketball court so far. Now let's mark out where the hoops are going to be. So you can start out with the diorite wall, and we're going to be right down the center of the 3-point area, and we're going to be right here on this line at the edge of the court. We'll bring up a pillar of 5. And then right up against that here at the top, you can have a blue concrete block. And then you can switch to the black stained glass pane. And we'll have 2 on each side of that block. And then a strip across the top. And now you can switch to the hopper. And what I'm going to do is just go down here. I'm going to crouch, place the hopper, and then just kind of work my way up until it's right underneath that blue concrete block. And I think that'll be good. We'll head on over here to this side and we'll do it one more time. So we have the diorite wall going up by 5. Blue concrete block, black stained glass pane, just 2 on each side, and then a layer along the top. And then we'll have the hopper again underneath. So that is the other hoop. So now as the basketball court is all done, we can then just get rid of all of these other concrete blocks. And then the diorite wall, the hopper, and the black stained glass panes. Oh yeah, you could also get rid of the cobweb, and the dark oak fence, and the green concrete that we have here. And now you could just gather up all these other blocks that we have. So, all of these quartz blocks, and the prismarine blocks, and the bucket of water is going to be used for the pool. So we'll jump on into that next. You could start out with the chiseled quartz blocks. And I'll head on over here more towards the left. We're going to be lined up with this pillar right here down the center of the porch balcony area. So we're going to start down here at the bottom and we're going to skip back by 7 spaces. So now you just want to go back one more until you're on the 8th block. You could place a block of the chiseled quartz. So once again, you should now still be able to see 7 spaces right here in between the chiseled quartz block and that pillar. And now we'll continue working our way towards the back and we'll add an additional 10. So we're going to have a strip of 11 here. And now you could go right next to that, place a block of the chiseled quartz, and then go back out and place one more. So we have a little zigzag right here, this little corner part. So we'll do the same here back at the front. So one going in that direction, and then one back out. And now, we're going to bring this all the way over until, well, we're not going to be quite lined up with that pillar. So what I'll actually do is go back to this side, and we'll do the same thing we just did there. So we'll skip back until we're on the 8th block. So now on the 8th block, we'll place the chiseled quartz, and then we'll continue and place an additional 10. And now we'll add an additional one on each side going in, and then back out right next to that. And then you can see we should be able to just connect these together on each side. So this is the outer border for the pool. Now let's start deleting all the space within the edge of the pool. So I'll head on here more towards this left side. And we're going to start out by deleting this first layer of the dirt. And we'll bring it over until we're at about the halfway point of the pool. So I'll just line up where this stair is. So I'll start deleting a strip straight across here. And then you can just continue deleting this first layer of the dirt for this side. And now for this other side, we're going to dig down 2 blocks until you can see the bedrock, which you can see right here. But this part's not going to be as far down, I accidentally deleted those. But starting right here, we'll go ahead and dig down by 2. And you could just work your way over until all of this is dug out. We have this side all dug out till bedrock, and this side still has 1 layer of the dirt. So now, I'm going to start out with the prismarine, or the dark prismarine block, so I'm going to have this for the outer border. So I'll start over here on the shallow end, and we'll just fill in a strip right here, and then we'll wrap around the corner on each side, and then we'll bring this all the way over, and once you meet up with this part that dips down, you can just start placing the dark prismarine right across here. Wrap around this corner, work your way across, wrap around here, back to this side, and then work your way back up for the part that's a little bit more shallow and connect it back to this side. So this is the outer border. And now we'll switch to the prismarine blocks and we'll follow right along that. So just like this. Same way, we're just following right along the dark prismarine now. And now, we're going to add another layer of the regular prismarine right along the edge of that. And now what I'm going to do is fill in all the rest of the space with the dark prismarine. So this is what it's looking like. We have the shallow end over here, and there's a deeper end over here which will have a diving board. And now you can still see a strip of dirt, so we're going to replace that with some more of the chiseled quartz blocks. We'll then fill all of it in with the bucket of water. And there we go, the pool is now completely filled in. Let's look over here. We'll mark out where the diving board's gonna be, so you can switch to the smooth quartz stairs. And we'll flip around, we're gonna be right here down the middle, right on top of the chiseled quartz. We'll place a stair facing up like that. Behind it, we'll have one that's upside down. And then we'll have 2 smooth quartz slabs after that. So now that's it for the pool itself. We are going to have some tanning beds around the edge of the pool. But first we have to fill all of the other space in with the diorite, the stone bricks, and the andesite. So all of the other empty space that you see is going to be filled in with this. It's going to be the same way that we did it for the driveway with the mixed up pattern. So I'm just going to maybe start out with the andesite first, completely fill it all in, and then add that extra texture. Went through and filled in all the rest of the space. So this is what the backyard should now be looking like. And all of these blocks we are not going to continue using, so we could go ahead and just clear all that. You can see now the final thing we have left to do are the garden spaces. So I'm going to head on back up towards the front, and I'm just going to gather up all the same items that we used. So we have the jungle leaves, the melons, and then all these big flowers. We have the ferns, the small flowers, and that's it. So I'll head on back here, and I'm gonna we'll probably just have one bush on each side, so one right around here. That is good. We'll do the same on this side. And now I'll have a couple melons. I think that's fine. And then we'll head on over to this side, do the same thing. I'll have a few over here. There we go. And now we just have to go through and add all the flowers. Filled in both garden spaces. So now the entire... Oh yeah, I almost forgot. We have the tanning beds for the pool. So I just have some smooth quartz slabs. And I'm gonna have maybe just a few over here on this end. So the shallow end of the pool. So let's see. I think maybe 2 stacks of the slabs right there. And then 2 going out. I think that'll be a good spot. And then maybe 1 right here down the middle. And then 1 more all the way over here. And then we'll do maybe 1 right here. And we'll skip over 3 spaces. Maybe have another one. We'll see if this is going to work out. Is that good? So we have 2 spaces there. 2 spaces there. These are all even. Alright, there we go. That worked out pretty good. So now, that is going to be it for the entire backyard and for all of the landscaping for this entire build. So I'll get rid of that slab, and now there is one final thing we have to do, and that's just clean up all the extra concrete that you could still see. So I'm just going to grab the regular grass block, go through, delete all this, and replace it, and then once I have it all done, that is all there is to the entire exterior of this build. So I went through and cleaned up all of that extra concrete all the way around the edge of the build. And now that is going to be it here for part 4. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it at that here for part 4 for this tutorial on how to build this mansion. If it helped you, be sure to please leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in part 5. We'll then be heading on to the interior.